Okay guys, welcome back to the Lion's Den. This is Tyler once again. Here I'm going to go over a Battlefield 5 Firestorm first impressions. So I played it yesterday, streamed it, that's how I recorded all of this, with my cousin John and then with my buddy Mike. He was joining me as well. The way I'm going to structure this video, pretty much I'm just going to commentary over what happened yesterday, what was happening in that moment, and so on. I also have chopped the video a fair amount. I want to give you guys, my best impressions as I could. So the reason I'm chopping it is because I really just don't want you guys to sit here and watch all of my loading screens and everything else and just taking up time. And I honestly went through this video and probably deleted a total of like 6 minutes. And this is an 8-minute video, and I deleted 6 minutes out of it of just like loading screens or, waiting to jump into the game. And honestly, it was pretty frustrating yesterday. I think the biggest part for playing this was loading in literally every game. It's just not fluid. Like, you play Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, you play Conquest. Like, if you jump into a Conquest game, you know that you're going to be in it for an hour. Between booting up your Xbox, loading the game, getting into a game that lasts 20 to 30 minutes, playing it out, and then finishing up, and then getting into a new game, if you have to change servers, you're there for an hour all day. And now this game is similar. I know it's Firestorm, but it's Battle Royale. It should be much more time efficient to get into each game. It shouldn't be as outrageous as what we're seeing here. And now, as you can see, I'm just speeding this up, going through. The looting system is halfway there. I really like that you can use the D-pad on your HUD. So you can pull up your backpack right there. You can see all of your, ammo count, everything there. I think that is a great design. That's pretty cool. Other than that, I don't like how when you kill an enemy, they kind of disperse their equipment like Fortnite. It kind of just flops around on the ground, whereas in other Battle Royale games, PUBG or Apex Legends, you drop your kill box or whatever you want to call it in that game. You can go over and it's systematically listed through that whole box. You can pick the things you need. And if it's not listed right away or where it usually is, then they don't have it. You can just go on to the next thing. This is kind of just like a really disorganized shit show on the ground. It's kind of like they just vomit it up and it explodes everywhere. And I just think that could use a little bit of tweaking. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you're watching the video and you like it, let me know why you like it. I'd really appreciate that, just because I'm looking for a little bit different perspective. I think the gameplay is good. I like the tier system that they have. Green is basic, and then there's level 2 is blue, level 3 is red, and then I haven't seen anything other than that, so I don't know how high that goes. In regards to looting, I do like that you can have more than one equipment per se. You can have a anti-tank grenade, anti-tank rocket launcher, so on and so forth, with some regular grenades or smoke grenades. And then if you pick up the backpack, the only really thing I've seen that you can use for the backpack is the extra grenades that you could swap out, or potentially armor plates or something like that. Another thing I will say about the game that I do like is obviously it is Battlefield, so I think the audio is impeccable. It is on the Frostbite engine, I believe. The audio is absolutely phenomenal. It's just like every other Battlefield game. When they're walking on grass, you hear it, versus hardwood floors or versus snow crunching, things like that. The directional sound is awesome. If it's above, behind, below, around, wherever it is, you can tell where it's coming from. And then the guns obviously are excellent. I do like using the guns, the way they feel. The hit registration is on point. I imagine the netcode is pretty strong in this game, considering that it is a Battlefield game and, it's running fairly well on online multiplayer. I don't like how the guns are already attached. So you can get an MP40 that's a level 2, or you can get an MP40 that's a level 3 and has a couple different attachments. The shotguns are the same. There's leveling for numerous weapons in the game. I would much rather get a gun a base version and then pick up an attachment that's applicable for it and utilize it on that gun, swap it out for the next gun I pick up, and so on. But that's just my preference. I know a lot of people like picking up a fully kitted gun or nothing. You could just exchange it out for the next thing. Totally understand that. And the vehicles are pretty cool. You can definitely use them to move around. It's also a little frustrating though, because I don't know how prevalent they are in the game. However, getting mauled by a tank in the first 3 minutes of the game after you've looted and haven't seen a person the whole time is pretty frustrating. And secondly, talking about players now, the player count should definitely be higher. I don't think that the player count is anywhere near where it should be. It runs 60 players, I believe, and it runs 64 players, just like a full Conquest game that Battlefield 5 already does. The map is really large. You're covering a lot of distance. When PUBG came out and people were making fun of, it's the running game, it's a running simulator, ha ha ha. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this. Their loot is more plentiful though. The buildings are more plentiful. You're definitely not running from point A to point B with nothing in between for a long time. However, there is a fair amount of movement unless you find a vehicle or something. I have seen flare guns though, where you shoot the flare gun and it calls a vehicle in, gets parachuted down, and it's a little, not a tank or anything crazy, but gives you some mobility to maneuver around the map, which is pretty cool. Now that said, I still think that the player count should still be increased. We're at 64 players. I would like to see even 80 or 80, whatever brings it up to, 4 more squads, even 100 players. I don't see why that's not a thing right now, why they're not trying to do that. It should be. I'm glad it launched and there's no bugs or anything like that so far that I've noticed, but I would like to see more players so it's a little more exciting moment to moment. And then just back to the loading screens. Again, it's difficult for me to just keep talking up the game. I wanted this to be as genuine as possible. I didn't want to just sit here and up talk the game and make a flashy video with all kinds of transitions and this, that, the other thing. I wanted to show you guys what the actual experience of playing is. And I left that load screen in there. Like I've cut a couple out. I've sped them up so you can witness what's actually happening. I'm speeding these up at 6 times, so 600% the original speed rate of that video. And I don't know, man. We were playing Apex Legends, me and my cousins, right after this game, and I kid you not, my buddy hit the button on his Xbox. He lagged out, so we were gonna go pick him up. Now, we loaded into a game. We left that game. We hard quit the game and rebooted it from the dashboard entirely. Loaded the Apex Legends up to the menu. Hit start after everybody was invited and joined, and then got into the next game in less amount of time than it took for us to get into one game after we died in Battlefield 5. So just think about that for a second. Battle Royale is if you do really well, you go far. It's a 20-minute game all day. It's an investment. If you get taken out in the first minute of looting, or you loot for 2 minutes and then go into the next game because you died after 2 minutes of just straight looting and you didn't even get into a gunfight and someone shot you from behind, that's not fun. If you want a looting simulator, that's cool, but if you're just running around picking up loot and then getting slaughtered and hit in the back, then going into a loading screen for 3 more minutes, that's garbage. No one wants to play that. That's not exciting. That doesn't get my blood boiling. That doesn't get me, dopamine dump. That's not fun. That's not engaging. If I'm not running into a gunfight and I'm not doing anything useful at all, it's a waste of my time. And I feel like a lot of this game, the whole time I'm playing, it's somewhat of a waste of my time. Where if I have only an hour to dedicate to a game, I'm not going to load this up and play it because I'm not going to get enough out of the amount of time I'm going to have to wait in comparison to another game. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys checking my videos out. Give me a like, subscribe, watch the next video, watch some of my Apex videos. I'm going to do another one next week. Not sure about what yet, but I'll be sure to be posting it on my social media accounts. Those will be listed in my description as well if you want to get a follow about that. And Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.